Welcome, folks. Rambam. We continue our journey, almost finished. 14 books in just around over 11 months of learning. We are in the laws of Malachim o Melchamtam, the laws of kings, and the battles. Okay, we're in chapter 4. A king is granted license to levy taxes upon the nation for his needs, right, or for the purposes of war. His needs doesn't mean personal needs, by the way. He may also fix a duty on merchandise. It is forbidden to avoid paying this duty. The king has a right to decree that if someone does not pay these duties, his property will be seized or he will be killed. It's really powerful, right? By the way, we learned yesterday that a king has to be exceedingly humble. And if he's not exceedingly humble, he ain't a good king. Yeah, thank you. Then he's not a proper king. He has to be exceedingly humble. These laws are derived as it follows it says in Shmuel, you will be servants to him, the king. Previously, it said that you shall be subject to your levy and they shall serve you. From this association is derived the king may levy taxes and fix duties. The statutes that he establishes in these and related matters are accepted as law for all the matters mentioned in the Bible and biblical passages concerning the king are rights to the king is entitled. So he has the right. Right. His motivation is to do what God wants from him for the benefit of the people, not for his self-benefit. He may also send throughout the territory of Eretz Israel and take from the nation valiant men and men of war to employ them as soldiers for his chariot and cavalry. Similarly, he may appoint them as his bodyguard or his footmen to run before him. It says he shall place them among the charioteers and his horsemen, and they shall run before his chariot. He may also take the choices of them to be his servants and attendants. Then you shall take your finest young men to his work. Oh, before I forget, today's learning is in honor of the first year site of Shalom ben. Sorry, Yitzchak ben Shalom. Yitzchak ben Shalom. Similarly, he may take all those that are necessary for him from the nation's craftsmen and employ them to do his work. He must pay their wages. He may also take all the beast servants and maids that are necessary for his tasks. He must pay their hire or their value, as the verse says, and he shall set them to plow his ground and to reap his harvest, to make instruments of war and gear for the chariots. He will take the servants, your maids, your finest young men, and your donkeys to do his work. Okay, give me a moment. Oh. Oh. All right. Baruch atah Adonai l'nechelam she'avom barei.
Amen.
Man.
I need a little boost, sorry. Okay. Similarly, He may take wives and concubines from the entire territory of Eretz Yisrael. We said he can have up to 18 wives, right? Not more. If he would have more, then he would get actually Malchus, stripes. The term wives implies women who are married with Ksuba and Kedushin. Concubines of women are not given to Ksuba and Kedushin. The act of Yichud alone, the king acquires her, and relations with her are permitted him. Right, so a wife means that it has a marriage contract, concubine not. These laws don't apply today, of course. Um, and we're only allowed to have one wife. Right? Back then, they were capable men. They could take care. King could take care of 18 wives. Today, taking care of one wife is hard. A commoner is forbidden to have a concubine. I mean, not a king, in other words. The only similar relationship is the union with a Hebrew maidservant after she's been designated by her master. Right. But it's not a concubine. The king may make the concubines which he takes to his palace cooks, bakers, and perfumers. They take the daughters of perfumers, cooks, and bakers. He may force those who are fit to serve as officers, appointing them as leaders of thousands and leaders of fifties. He shall appoint them as leaders of thousands and leaders of fifties for himself, as the verse says. He may take fields, olive groves, and vineyards for his servants when they go to war and allow them to commandeer these places if they have no source of nurture other than them, right? So if they're at war, they can take from, if that's the only way. He must pay for what he is taken, though. So he can have it, but he has to pay for it. This is stated, and shall take the good fields, vineyards, and olive groves and give them to his servants. He is entitled to a tenth of the produce of the seed and the orchards of the newborn beasts. It says he will take a tenth of the seed and the vineyards, shall take of your sheep. Right. In others, he's entitled doesn't mean he has to take it, though. As a difference, when it comes to Truma and Meiser, to give to the Levites and to give to the Kohen, so, the farmer, he has to give that. Otherwise, he can't take from his own produce. Over here, if the king needs it, right? So then he has a right, but it's not something that you must give in order that, that you're permitted to the rest of your food. But for the tithes and the truma, you must give before you can even eat your own food. Interesting difference. The Messianic king, King Mashiach, Melech Mashiach, may take a 13th portion of all the lands conquered by Israel as his own. This will be an allotment for him and his descendants forever. Right, because the land is divided into 12 tribes. The property of those executed by the king belongs to the king. Similarly, all the treasures belonging to the kings of the kingdoms which he conquers become the property of the king. In regard to the other spoil which is taken, the soldiers may take spoil. After they must bring it to the king, is entitled to one half of the spoil. He takes his portion first. The second half of the spoil is divided between the combat soldiers and the people who remained in camp to guard the baggage. An equal division is made between them. As it says, the portion of those who go down to battle will be as the portion of those who stay with the baggage, and they should be divided equally. The lands that he conquers belong to him. He may apportion them to his servant soldiers as he desires, and keep the remainder for himself. On all these matters, the judgment he makes is binding. In all matters, his deeds shall be for the sake of heaven. So here's the, we had bad kings in Israel, right, that didn't follow the law. But this is the law. In all matters, his deeds shall be for the sake of heaven. His purpose and intent shall be to elevate the true faith and fill the world with justice, destroying the power of the wicked and waging the wars of God. For the entire purpose of appointing a king is to execute justice and wage wars. As it states, our king shall judge us, go out before us, and wage our wars. Against the wars are wars against wicked, right? Wow, how appropriate this is, right? It's wars against the wicked, right? Well, actually, those are obligated wars. It's a little more nuanced than I just said. Okay, we're going to stop over here. Folks, have an amazing, great day. Thank you.